Dyspraxia is a delay or a disorder in the organisation of coordination, out of proportion to the age and general development of children. Gross motor dyspraxia affects catching and kicking a ball, throwing a ball, running and jumping. Fine motor dyspraxia affects the hands for handwriting, for drawing, for dressing and for constructional play. Dyspraxia affecting the oral muscles can affect chewing, sucking and swallowing and later the articulation of speech. It can affect the eye muscles so that children have difficulty looking sideways and have to jerk their heads. It's common for children with dyspraxia to have other developmental problems. They may have trouble with understanding speech and language, instructions, or in expressing themselves. They may have visual perceptual difficulties, understanding shapes, distances, the speed of moving objects, and they may also have difficulty with understanding the position of their body parts and the way they move. When they have difficulty with organisation of planning, they may have difficulty laying out their work or in planning their day. Emotional and behavioural problems such as anxiety, depression and withdrawal are common. Many have low self-esteem. But if parents and teachers understand and support them, it can help the children to cope and to lead a normal life. It must be heartbreaking for some parents to find they have a dyspraxic child. I can't explain how that feels. You need to hear from someone else who's experienced it.
Since birth, it was obvious that he had some kind of mental disability. He seemed unable to master even the simplest task, becoming increasingly frustrated as he tried. His coordination, or lack of it, was slow to develop as he grew. Sometimes his tantrums became so severe that I didn't know what to do with him or how to cope. He wouldn't settle if he was left alone, and wouldn't even let me hold or cuddle him. The doctors constantly tell me how fortunate I am to have discovered the real reason for his clumsiness at such an early age. They say that being aware of why he bumps into things as he walks, and why mealtimes always turn out to be such an ordeal, will help us to cope better and deal with the problem more effectively. It's a relief to know that he doesn't have a terminal illness. His brain just needs some gentle encouragement to help him flourish, to achieve the things in life that everyone who knows him is sure he desperately wants. We live each day one at a time, taking every task and each challenge in turn, working together to make things happen for him. Yet the more he does, the more tired he gets. And the more tired he gets, the more frustrated he becomes. To see your child struggle in this way is soul-destroying. So I can't even begin to imagine what it must feel like for him. I know he finds it hard. It takes him twice as long to take things in, and while the other children come on in leaps and bounds, he just ambles along in his own merry way. My main fear is that to many people he appears disobedient. It's hard to make them understand that he's not being naughty. It's the condition he's suffering from. He's just struggling to make all the pieces of life's puzzle fit together. To see your child constantly fighting to achieve the things that come so easily to other children is tough. But you learn to cope. You have to if you want your child to lead as normal a life as possible. But this isn't the end of the story, and there are things that can be done to help. The Dyspraxia Foundation have done extensive research into the illness and have found that through speech therapy and physiotherapy, sufferers have shown tremendous improvements. But the current level of treatment has to be improved, and funds are constantly needed to do further research, in the hope that a solution will one day be found. You may be able to make the difference that's so desperately needed. You could help a dyspraxic child lead a normal life. So please, help if you can.